Hey everyone, Cody Rose or Decode Man, bringing you another video. Why am I feeling sad? Because I gotta review a show that I dislike. I usually talk about shows that I care for, but I'm starting a new series I like to call me reviewing two Power Ranger like shows, or about which I'm gonna call Power Rangers S shows. Basically, I'm gonna do that as some of my shows, just to know. And today we're starting off with a bad one. Yes, the remake to Reboot. For people who don't know, basically Reboot is a great show. First CGI cartoon in existence. It's a great show. I do like it. But we're talking about the remake, which it kind of feels like more of Kodioko or another properties that I care for. Power Rangers, really. It's not good. The reboot remake we're talking about. If you want me to talk about the original show, I might do that eventually, but for now, we have to go with this freaking dumpster fire of a show. And we're only going to talk about my thoughts on the series. I have not seen every episode because it's that bad. It's so bad, I felt like it's terrible. And I'm just going to give you some examples why is it bad and why the reboot remake sucks. It's been almost 3 years since it came out. Came out April of 2018, and since then it's been a show I wanted to review if I ever do a bad show. And today, let's start. Without further ado, let's talk about it. Well, in the first episode, you basically have the Arrow, who's our Data, basically being our show's mentor character, even if the five main characters, which I'm going to go by their names: red, blue, yellow, and green. Yellow's our girl, green's our tech nerd geek, red's our leader slash connected to the plot for some reason, and blue is basically a jock that only does basketball, and that's it. They all play a game called Guardian something, like I forget what it's called, but Guardian Code, so basically title. And that game, they're all the best players, even if best team, and get recruited. Yeah, I don't like this trope used for this show, but Airstone did it kind of better, even if that one was sort of lame. But Airstone redeemed itself in some ways. But that's another story. Point is, Reboot Guardian Code feels like a downgrade. The acting's bad, it's terrible, and some of the plots are really pointless. Like, for example, there's an episode where there's a car, and basically, in most shows, if you have a self driving car hijacked, someone would get hit by a car. No, it's just threatening people by just driving back and not killing them. What the hell? Then there's an episode about a children's toy that Megabyte hijacked. And yes, the only returning character for the main plot is freaking Megabyte, the show's villain. But now he's a sidekick to a villain known as Sorcerer. And this show, it's like, yeah, I hate you. I hate your world because you're dated. Yeah, that's terrible. Why? Because this ain't TMNT where you mock the show's formula of how bad it is. It's Reboot. It's one of the most defining shows, and you're treating it like someone has a drunken person. Like, I'm not kidding. They basically talk about things in one episode, the only episode that ties into the original series elements, even if it's only pre-season, mid-season 2, where before the storyline kicks in, where you only see Bob, Enzo, and Future. Uh, you know what I mean. Now I remember Dot, Matrix, Enzo, and Bob are the only characters we see in the first episode, in the reference episode, and they treat it like, oh, this is so dated. Like, it's stupid. Why? It's one of the first shows, god damn it. It was one of the first shows in television of CGI, and you're treating it like it's terrible. Like, it makes sense TMNT mocking it, but why reboot? That makes no sense. I get it because it was early CGI, but this show has terrible animation, just to know. It's that bad. And other things about the show, biggest problem is in the episode. We finally see the user, and it's just a nerdy guy playing an NES emulator, a Sega Genesis emulator joke, and the episode's like a Minecraft spoof. And for a game of the week, what the hell? I don't like it. It's god awful for that. And heck, the story is terrible. Like, Red is Red discovers his father was the villain of the show all along secretly without knowing the connection, and yeah, that's stupid and terrible. And most of all, if the show would have continued, we wouldn't have Megabyte become the main villain. Yeah, the most important villain and so great. I hate this. It's so terrible. Like, heck, Reboot is one of the best shows, and you just dumpster fire it by making a generic Power Rangers ripoff. And yes, Power Ranger ripoff shows can be terrible if you use it wrong. And this show, it feels more Code Yoko than actual, Reboot. I am that angry. Yeah. Sorry, this video is very tempted. This is like the worstest show I have ever talked about on my channel so far because it's that bad. Reboot is one of the best shows on Nickelodeon. And yes, I'm still calling myself Decode Man instead. Intro, even if Michael Bailey is now have my channel as like a sidekick backup thing. Just accept that storyline thing and it's okay. I'm still doing Decode Man. Got it? Good. So I'm sorry I didn't explain that in the beginning, but point is, Reboot is terrible. Reboot Guardian Code. Do not watch it. It's awful. I don't recommend it. And this show's just a warning saying, oh yeah, that show's terrible, just to be afraid. Hope you liked the video. And also, I'm doing other Toku Power Ranger-esque shows eventually. But for now, I did one of the badder ones just to test off because this show sucks. If you want me to do, I might do Galador. Yes, I love Galador. And I might do that as a video next time for who knows, only time will tell. Hope you liked the video and leave a comment down below if you like me doing more Toku terrible Power Ranger shows. And this one is the worst one and hope you like it. This is the comment saying bye-bye for now.